Good afternoon, everybody, or morning if you're farther than the East Coast, if you're out Midwest or Central or Western time zones. Of course, good morning. And if you're overseas, I guess it'll be good evening. I'm not sure. Right now, it's about 12:38 local time on the East Coast. And I'm going to take a chance in playing outdoors again on this time we'll do Strat-O-Matic. I had intended to bring and do the Glavin replay live, but when I was packing up my items, lo and behold, I forgot the cards. So I'm in my backup plan, which is Strat-O-Matic, and there's a lot of Strat-O-Matic fans out there, so I guess that's always a good backup. And one of the seasons that always intrigued me was 1977, so I've got two teams from 1977. Hello, Mr. Strat-O-Matic Delaware. I'm at a local park playing the game again, the same way I did with Steve Towers, the History Maker game I did honoring Steve and Al. So across the baseball diamond, there are some kids playing on a playground. I was thinking to be quiet because school's back in session, but apparently these kids are under school age. So if you hear kids screaming in the background or making noise, that's what it's all about. All right, let's. The wind can be an issue again, so I've got everything battened down the hatches, all the things here, so I'll pull them out as I need them. Hello, Mr. Is it Mr. Moley? I guess that's how it's pronounced. Greetings from the UK. How you doing? I was getting ready to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It's 12:40 local time, so I can see if you're over there. I can see where you would be getting off work. Let's look at the starting pitchers for today's game. And this is not a replay of any particular game, just a random game I chose with random lineups that I chose. So starting pitcher for the White Sox will be Steve Stone. And on the 77 season, Steve Stone was 15-12 with a 4.51 ERA. And for the Twins, it was 20-game winner Dave Goltz. Dave Goltz, 20-11, 3.36. So the much better pitcher on paper is Dave Goltz. Good evening, Mr. David Moore, I guess from Switzerland. How are you? So, in theory, Dave Goltz should have the better outing, but the White Sox are a much, much better offensive team. So, you got good pitching against good hitting. We'll see which one prevails. Let's go through the lineup, first of all, for the visiting Minnesota Twins. Leading off in center field will be Lyman Bostock. Batting second, playing short, is Roy Smalley. Hitting third at first base is Rod Carew. And this is the year that Carew hit .388. Larry Heisel, the left fielder, will bat cleanup. Butch Weiniger is at catching and batting fifth. Dan Ford, call him Disco Dan. He will bat in the sixth position and play right field. Mike Cubbage is at third base, hitting seventh. Glenn Adams is the DH, and he will hit eighth. And Bob Randall's at second. He will bat ninth. Hello, Statistician. How are you? Welcome aboard, everybody, so far. I hope you can block out the annoying youngsters in the background. They wouldn't normally be annoying, but doing a video, that would be the only problem, being annoying. Normally, they wouldn't be annoying. All right, here is Ralph Garr. He will lead off in center field for the White Sox. George Orta bats second and plays second base. Alan Bannister is the shortstop, hitting third. Richie Zisk is in right field. He will bat cleanup. Oh, and the wind even blew my box top over. That tells you how strong the gust is. Batting fifth and playing first base is Jim Spencer. Hitting sixth at third base is Eric Soderholm. Oscar Gamble, the DH, will hit seventh. Chet Lemon in center will bat eighth, and Jim Essie in the catcher will bat ninth. Of course, this is under super advanced rules, and for the Comiskey Park, singles are 1 to 9 for both lefties and righties, and home runs are 1 to 9 for both lefties and righties. So we'll go ahead and get going here, and I'll pull out the fielding charts when necessary, but right now they're tucked under this box to try to keep the cards from blowing away on me. Score sheet's already starting to flap in the wind. It's on a clipboard, but the ends of it are starting to flap. Hello, Mr. Herb Pilgrim. How are you doing? Welcome aboard. We're ready to go. Lyman Bostock's going to lead things off against Steve Stone. And we get a 3-8. So a 3-8 for Bostock against a righty. That's a single. There's no clutch involved when there's nobody on. So we are playing clutch because it's super advanced, but we're not in a clutch situation. So that is simply a single for Bostock. He could steal. If he gets a 5-6, he can get a lead, but we got some good hitters coming up, so I don't want to run out of any innings. So Roy Smalley is aboard. And we get a 1-3. 1-3 for Smalley against a right-hander. Is a ground ball shortstop B. That's a fielder's choice. So we have a 6-4 for one away. And that'll bring up Rod Carew. Hello, Pete, Bo Sox fan. I ought to play wind conditions because it certainly is windy here in real time. It kind of gives me the Comiskey feel for sure. I didn't bring the weather charts with me. I only brought the normal fielding ballpark effects. So I'm kind of going with those, but rest assured, it is definitely a breeze. Here's Rod Carew. Carew 5-10. So Steve Stone against the lefty. 5-10 will be a walk. So he has just walked Rod Carew. That puts runners at first and second with one out for the cleanup hitter, Larry Heisel. He can certainly unload if he gets the right roll. It's a 3-9. So Heisel, a 3-9. At this time he unloaded with a strikeout. Got nothing but air. So Steve Stone gives the whiff on Heisel. That'll bring up Butch Weiniger. And we get a 3-7 for Weiniger against the righty. 3-7, split chance. Not a good one, though. Has to roll a 1 on the D20 or else it's going to be a line out to second. And it is. It's a line out to second, and that's going to end the top of the first. So nothing doing for the Twins. We go to the bottom of the first, and it's the Twins, nothing. White Sox coming to bat. And that'll bring up Ralph Garr against, let's switch over here to Dave Goltz now. 5-8 against the lefty. 5-8 against the lefty is a ground ball second base X, so we will be calling on the defense right away. And the second baseman in this game for the Twins is Bob Randall. He's a 2E15. So we'll roll for that. And now we got a helicopter going on here. We got everything going on here. So much for peace and quiet, huh? All right. We got a 3 and we got a 10. All right, and Randall is an E2. An E2 and a 3 is still going to be a ground out. G3. So let's see here. It's a 10, and I don't think there's any errors on 10s. We'll check at 15, and nope, that's a good play for Bob Randall. He made the play, one away. So Ralph Garr is retired. This park is close to a local not a major airport, but a county airport, and you never know what's going to be flying overhead. Hope there's no UFOs. Here's George Orta. Hi, Beatles. How you doing? 3-7. 3-7 for Orta against Goltz. 3-7 is a fly to center. That's out number 2. 2 away. Yes, Statistician, they are on to me. I'm thinking I can come to this little park here on a Tuesday. I took an extra day off for Labor Day, figuring I get some privacy, some peace and quiet. Played a game earlier this morning. People were walking by looking at me like I was crazy. And now we got kids out there, and we got the wind blowing. We got helicopters going overhead. Next thing you know, the local authorities will be on me or something. I don't know. All right, so here's Bannister. It's a 2-7. 2-7 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So the White Sox go quietly in the bottom of the first. We've completed 1, and it's no score. And up to the plate will be Disco Dan Ford for the Twins. And we got to bring Mr. Stoney back in the hot seat. We get a 2-7 for Disco Dan. 2-7's a ground ball to short. He had a lot of hits here, but he found his grounder to short. And there's one away. Bo Sox fan? No, I never have. They'd have to kind of come through a gate to enter the Little League field, so I'm guessing maybe they just were like curious as to what I was doing or thought I was crazy or whatever, but no one's physically ever come up to me and asked me what I was doing yet. That might be kind of interesting if it did. Kind of hard I don't know how to explain this to somebody who doesn't know it. So could be interesting though. Maybe it'll happen one of these days. All right, it's a 3-6 for Cubbage, and 3-6 is a walk. So Irma is coming. Yes, I've heard that. I know it's coming to Florida. I don't know if it's coming to Virginia or not. We're supposed to get some rain from it next week, but it's supposed to be only, rain, and that's about it. So we can hope. All right, so Cubbage draws a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up the DH, Glenn Adams. Glenn Adams, 1-9. 1-9 is a strikeout, so Glenn Adams is out on strikes. He didn't come through as a DH on that one. So there's 2 down for the number 9 hitter, Bob Randall. And that is a 4-7, so we'll check Steve Stone against a righty. 4-7, Steve Stone against a righty is a pop to short, and that's going to end the inning. So quick work of the Twins made by Steve Stone. We go to the bottom of the second, and we're still scoreless. And that'll bring up Richie Sisk, the cleanup hitter, to lead off the bottom of the second. Richie Sisk, a 2-3. 2-3 is a single, but with a ballpark caveat. And a single is 1-9. I need to get Gulps up here as well. So a single is going to be a 1-9 chance. And it's an 18, so that's going to be a liner to short instead, as the ballpark did not cooperate. So there's 1 away, and that brings up first baseman Jim Spencer. Spencer a 2-9. 2-9 is a ground ball to second, and there's 2 away. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Eric Soderholm. Eric Soderholm, a 5-5, so under Goltz against a righty. 5-5 against a righty is a strikeout. So Dave Goltz rung him up. Soderholm is out. He is gone, and so are the White Sox. So after 2 complete, we are still scoreless in this windy day, which is reminiscent of Comiskey for sure. Actually, it's not that windy out. If you were just sitting around, you would think it's a comfortable breeze. But when you're dealing with lightweight paper and lightweight cards, that can become a problem. All right, here's Lyman Bostock, top of the order. It's 6-4 against Stone. 6-4 against a lefty. Fly ball center field X, so we have a defensive check on the center fielder, which is Chet Lemon. And Chet Lemon is a 3-rated center fielder, and his E rating is 13. All right, so it's a center fielder. Let's go over to the center fielder side. I said he was a 3, and that was an 11, so a 3 and 11 should be a good play, and it is. And then we have an 11 here and an E13. All right, E13 and an 11. You would think it might be an error, but according to this, there's no 11 there, so it's a good play. So handled out there by Chet Lemon. He took care of it. 1 away as Bostock is retired. Brings up number 2 hitter Roy Smalley. It's a 3-9. 3-9 for Smalley against Stone is a strikeout. So Smalley down on strikes. 2 down. Brings up Rod Carew. Yeah, Bo Sox fan, I probably should have played the Mets and had it like a Shea Stadium event. Didn't think about that, but I should have. 1-4. 1-4 for Carew against a right-hander is a potential home run. 1-14 is a homer. 15-20 is a triple, so Carew will do damage either way. 1-14, Carew goes deep. And it's a 19, so he's going to settle for a 2-out triple. So a 2-out triple for Carew, and on the season, Carew did have 16 triples, which is why he has a triple on his card. A lot of times triples do not come up directly on player cards, but they did that time. And it's a 2-out triple for Carew. All right, here is Larry Heisel with Carew at third and 2 outs, and that's a 1, so that means we're checking for a potential wild pitch on Stone, and his wild pitch rating is a 10. So a 10, if it's a 10, we got a wild pitch, and that will bring home Carew. It's a 2, so it is a wild pitch, so Stone just uncorked one, and Carew has come in to score. And the Twins lead it 1-0 on that wild pitch by Steve Stone. All right, it's a 6-8 as Heisel's still at the plate. 6-8 6'8's a ground ball second base X, and the White Sox second baseman is George Orta. Orta is a 4, E23, and that's a 13, so he might make the play, although the 4 is questionable. Let's see here, 4 and a 13. Yep, he did make the play, or at least got in front of it, as Espo Strat would say. It's 9, and he's a E23. 9, wait a minute, I don't have an E rating of 9. It's E23 and a 9, my bad. 23, there is no 9 there, so he made a good play. So George Orta made the play to end the inning, but the wild pitch cost him. And the Twins now lead it 1-0 thanks to that wild pitch by Steve Stone. All right, we go to the bottom of the third. It is now a 1-0 game, and Dave Goltz, the pitcher rather, for Oscar Gamble, the DH. That's a 4-10. So 4-10 against a lefty. Ground ball, shortstop X. And that's going to be Roy Smalley. So we'll check on Smalley and see what he's got going on. Smalley is a a range of 3 and an E36. So a 3 and a 36 with a 6 there. That could be a hit. Let's see. He's a 3 and a 6. No, he did get in front of it. And it's an 11, and he's an E36. So an 11 off of an E36, he makes the play. So Smalley was able to get that one, and Oscar Gamble is out of there. One away for Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon, a 6'4", and Goltz against a right-hander on a 6'4" is a ground ball shortstop A, and there's 2 away. So 2 ground outs to short, make 2 quick outs, and up for the White Sox now, number 9 hitter for Jim Essien. It's a 2-9 for Essien, and Essien's got a chance for a home run. 1-10's a homer. 11-20 will be a double. So 1 through 10, and we got a tie ball game. And we do. It's a 1. So Jim Essien has just tied the ball game. Light hitting Jim Essien. He did hit 10 home runs on the year, but he only hit he hit 273. He wasn't too bad. But anyway, we got a tie ball game now thanks to that home run. So we're back to the top of the order for Ralph Garr. And Garr, a 110. 110's a ground ball to first. And that's going to end the inning. So the inning is over. But the White Sox match the Twins run with a run of their own thanks to the Essien homer. And this wind is really starting to pick up on him. My score sheet's really flapping in the wind here. All right, we go to the top of the 4th. And we'll have Steve Stone back on the bump. Top 4, and it's Butch Weiniger. Weiniger lined to second his first time up. 4-7. 4-7 for Butch Weiniger. He's a lefty, so Steve Stone, 4-7 against the lefty, is a line out to first. 1 away. I see a comment there about Steve Tower. Speaking of Steve, I was thinking he was going to play a live game last night, but something must have happened. Hopefully he'll do that tonight. I was kind of looking forward to the Justin Verlander-Kershaw deal, but we'll see if he does it tonight. Maybe something just came up. Here's Dan Ford, 2-9 for Ford. 2-9. Oh, Ford's got a chance. It's a 1-9, or 1-8 for a triple. 9-20 is a double. So 1-8, and he will have a triple just like Carew did. It's a 19 though, so he'll settle with a double. Not a bad thing to settle for. Disco Dan with a 1-out double. Here is Mike Cubbage. Cubbage, a 5-11 off a Stone versus a lefty. 5-11 is a ballpark check again for a single, and that's going to be a 1-9 check. It's a 7, so it is a base hit. It is a base hit, so that will put runners at the corners. And I'm fighting this wind as best I can here. Getting into actually almost a gust in some places. I don't know if it can be heard on the video or not, but it's definitely out there. All right, here's Glenn Adams with runners at the corners and only 1 out. And that is a 6-7. 6-7 against a lefty for Steve Stone. Oh, he's in trouble. 1-10's a double. 11-20's a single. 2 stars for both. That is a 16, so it's a single for Glenn Adams. but that will score forward to make it a 2-1 ball game, and that will move Cubbage to third. So runners are at the corners again with only one out, and Bob Randall, the batter. Hello, D. Scott Howard, and anybody else I may have missed. I'm fighting the wind, so I'm not always checking comments. 1-5. 1-5 for Randall against Stone, and Randall is going to come up with something here. 1-2 for a double. 3-20 is a single, but it's 2 stars again, and that's a single, so another base hit. And that's going to score Cubbage and keep the train rolling as Adams goes to third. It's now 3-1 Twins. Still only one out, and back to the top of the order for Lyman Bostock. And we get a 3-6 for Bostock. 3-6, he's going to hit a double to left field. So the train keeps going, and the bullpen for the White Sox might have to go full force here. The double for Bostock's going to score Adams. And Randall, they'll go ahead and hold, since it's less than 2 outs, they'll hold him at third. So runners are at second and third with only 1 out. And Roy Smalley, the batter. Oh, he did it on Facebook page. I was looking for it on YouTube. My bad. Thank you, Mr. Moley. I will go check that out. I was thinking he did it was doing it on YouTube. That was totally my misunderstanding there. So I will definitely go check that out. All right, runners at second and third with 1 out, and the infield's going to have to come in. Here's Roy Smalley, and it is a 2-9. 2-9 for Smalley. It's a ground ball second base C, and a ground ball second base C. Let's look at my cheat sheet here. Second base C, infield in, runners at second and third. That's a number 1, which says batter out, runners hold. So with the infield in, they were able to keep the run from scoring, temporarily at least. Now there's 2 away. So Rod Carew is up. They're going to intentionally walk Rod Carew. They're not even going to mess around with him. Why do that? They're going to load the bases, though, for Larry Heisel. And it's a 6-8 for Stone against a righty. 6-8 against a righty is a ground ball second base X. That's George Orta. And Orta is a 4 E23. And that's an 11, so I think he'll get in front of that. And it's a 6 on the E23. The 11 and a 4, he does get in front of it. And an E23 and a 6. E23, there is no 6, so Orta made the play. And Stone gets out of any further damage, but 3 runs have already come across, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Twins 4 and the White Sox 1. There's the wind. I gotta put things here to block the wind here a little bit. All right, so now we go back to the bottom of the 4th for George Orta. George Orta be facing Goltz. I didn't even need the D20. That was my bad. 6-5 for Goltz against a lefty. That's an in home run check, and George Orta does have in power against righties. So 1-2 is a homer, 3-20 is a double. 1-2 is a homer, 3-20 is a double. It's a double for George Orta, so got to start somewhere if you're the White Sox, and he just did it with a leadoff double. Brings up Alan Bannister. It's a 2-11 for Bannister against the righty Goltz. 2-11, ground ball first base C. That's going to move the runner to third base with 1 out. The infield will play back. They're ahead by 3. There's no sense bringing the infield in. Let's see here, 3-4. 3-4 for Zisk. 3-4 for Zisk is a ground ball pitcher A. And with the infield back, check my thing here. Ground ball A, runner at third. Infield back is a 5. If hit to second or short, batter out, runners advance. Otherwise, he had to hold because it went back to the pitcher. So the fact that Zisk sent it back to the pitcher, that meant the runner had to hold. So even with the infield back, they couldn't do anything. So there's still 2. They're now 2 away. And Jim Spencer, the batter. Had that gone to the middle infield, that would have scored the run. All right, here's Spencer. Spencer, a 4-4 against Goltz and the lefty. 4-4 is another ballpark check. And again, on a single, it's 1-9. It's a 20, so it is a line out to second. And that leadoff double goes for naught for the White Sox. So we go to the top of the 5th. It is still a 4-1 lead. And they're going to let Stone continue, at least for a little bit. See if he can hold on here. He's going to face the catcher, Butch Weiniger. He'll be the first batter of the inning. That's a 2-6 for Weiniger, and 2-6 for Weiniger. 1-8's a homer. 9-20 will be a fly to right. So 1-8, and Weiniger will go deep. It's a 1, so Butch Weiniger just went deep, and that may be close to it for the starter, Steve Stone. Let's check the bullpen for the White Sox. They didn't have a very good one. They were known for their offense, not their defense. They're going to go to Bart Johnson, another righty. So Bart Johnson is going to take over for Steve Stone. Bart Johnson, he will come in. Steve Stone didn't have it. He pitched 4+ and gave up 5 runs. And now Bart Johnson, part-time starter, part-time reliever. Bart Johnson is in, and Bart Johnson on the season was 4-5 with a 4.01 ERA. He did have 2 saves, so he was kind of a middle reliever because he did have a couple starts. So here's Disco Dan. Disco Dan to face off against Bart Johnson. So 3-5. 3-5 is a strikeout. So Bart Johnson gets the strikeout, 1 away. I'll bring up Mike Cubbage. Cubbage, a 5-6. Lefty against Bart Johnson. A 5-6 is a fly to right. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Glenn Adams, the DH. It's a 1-7. And he will fly to center to end the inning. So Bart Johnson came in and brought some stability to the White Sox. And only 1 run allowed, which was the home run off of Steve Stone. That was done by Weiniger. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 5-1 in favor of the Twins. Goltz back on the mound, enjoying that lead. Here's Eric Soderholm to lead things off. 6-12. That might be an injury thing, but I'm not doing injuries, so it's just going to simply be a fly ball to left X, which means we're checking on the left fielder. In this case, that's Larry Heisel. He's not very good. Actually, he's okay. He's 210. I was thinking of somebody else. He's a 2E10, so that's not bad. And that's a 7, so he's probably going to make the play, but we'll verify. It's a 7 and he's a 2. He definitely got there, and then it's an 8 on a E10. E10, there is no 8 there, so it's a good play for Larry Heisel. He makes the play on Soderholm, 1 away. And we'll go back to Oscar Gamble, the DH. So Oscar Gamble steps to the plate as the wind really gusting now. Makes me feel like I'm in Comiskey. Here is Gamble. It's a 3-10. 3-10 for Gamble is a foul out to the catcher. It's 2 away now. And that'll bring up Chet Lemon, center fielder. 2 outs, base is empty. It's a 1-2, and that's a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Goltz cruising and enjoying a 5-1 lead. So we go to the top of the 6th. Still 5-1. Bart Johnson back for another inning of work. He'll be facing second baseman Bob Randall, bottom of the order. The D20 was not big enough to hold everything here. The wind is really kicking up. We're really getting a strong blast. So we batten down the hatches a little further and put some weights on some of this stuff. If I can't hold some of this stuff down, it was blowing the D20 right off the score sheet. So, all right, we'll try it now. Here's Bob Randall to lead things off. It's a 4-4. I'm sorry, 4-2. 4-2 is a ground ball, shortstop B. He's not tired yet, so the ground ball will stand. And there's 1 away. That'll bring up the top of the order in Lyman Bostock. He's 2 for 3, a single and a double. 4-9. 4-9 for Bart Johnson. 4-9 against a lefty is a single. So that's the 3rd hit for Bostock. As another plane goes overhead. Brings up Roy Smalley. Got a little bit of everything here today, apparently. 6'5". He's a switch hitter. Batting left. 6'5" is a walk. So Smalley draws a walk. 2 on, 1 out for Rod Carew. Carew, a 4-3. against Johnson. Against the lefty, 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. The right fielder is Richie Zisk. And Zisk, in his ratings, is a 4E6. So he's a 4E6. So if he gets to it, he'll field it, most likely. And he will get to it because it's a 12, so that's not a problem. Now it's just a matter of E6, and it's an 11. E6 and 11, he makes the play. So Richie Zisk was able to get to that, and there's now 2 away for Larry Heisel. 2 on, 2 out. Larry Heisel. It's a 5-7 against Bart Johnson. 5-7. Well, look at this. All this is outs, and he found the 1 hit, which was 5-7. So we're going to have a run, most likely, because, well, we will, because it's going to be a double or a single, and it's guaranteed 2 stars. So let's see here. 1 to 13 is a double. It's a 16, so it's a single, but it's a 2-star advancement, which means Bostock or Lyman Bostock will score, and Smalley will go to third. And the Twins now have a 6-1 lead. And I can't catch a break with a close game on the video for some reason. Every time I do a video, it's a blowout. Don't know why. All right, so it's a 6-8 for Weiniger. He's a lefty. 6-8 is another base hit. 1 to 13 is a double. 14 to 20 is a single, but again, 2 stars. It's an 11, so it's a double. So that'll be an RBI double for Weiniger. That will score Smalley and move Heisel to third. He cannot score because it was 2 stars. But 2 runs are in, all this with 2 outs. And here is Disco Dan. It's a 2-9. 2-9 against a righty is, look at this, 1 to 8 for a triple. 9 to 20 is a double. So that's going to score 2 runs. That is a 9, so it's a double. But it's a 2-run double. That scores Heisel from third and Weiniger from second. And the Twins are just blowing this thing wide open. That brings up Mike Cubbage, and Bart Johnson may not be around too much longer. It's a 4-11 against a lefty. Bart Johnson, a 4-11, finally an out. Fly to left is going to end the inning. But they almost send 9 batters to the plate again, and they put up 4 runs. And right now it's a 9-1 ball game, so I apologize, guys, that this is not a closer game. I was hoping it would be because the Sox have a really good offense, but Dave Goltz has shut them down, and their pitching has definitely failed the big one. So maybe, I guess the only good thing is you guys can sit there and chat while I play this blowout. Hopefully somebody's still listening. We'll see. 2-4. Essien 2-4 is a ballpark check for a single, and the ballpark check is 1 to 9. So Essien does get a single. He homered in the first at bat, singles in the second at bat. That'll bring up Ralph Garr. Ralph Garr, a 1-5. So a 1-5 for Garr against a righty is a fly to right. Fly to right, and there's 1 away. Thank you, Beatles. I get kind of concerned about that when it's a blowout. I'm like, well, people are going to just like zone out because it's such a bad game. All right. You never know. I mean, the White Sox could rally, but, you know, I'm going to be the breeder of false hope. There's a 1 here, so it's a chance for a wild pitch. Dave Goltz has a 6 rating as a wild pitch. But it's a 9, so it will not be a wild pitch. So Bannister back in the box. It's a 5-4 against Goltz. 5-4 is a catcher X, and the catcher, Weiniger, in this case, is a 3E2. And he'll make the play with a 3. Now to check the E2 portion. And I go to my other page for pitchers and catchers. Got that buried so it doesn't blow away. Now I gotta remember what I did with it. Let's find that page. Probably buried under here somewhere. There it is. There it is. So we got a 4. I'm sorry, that was a 12. I think the dice rolled on me when I picked it up, so I'm just going to go with what's there and call it a day. Let's see here. I know the catcher got in the where he could field it because it was a 3 and it was an 11, so that's a P/F. And then his E rating's an 11 and it's a 12. 11, no error there, so it's a P/F. And on a P/F, and there is a runner on first. So let's see here. Pass ball. When using this rule, refer to the super advanced rules found in the instruction for procedure to determine if pass ball occurs. Alright, so I think on this one that we don't call it a pass ball. We go to the secondary check for pass balls. I don't have the rule book in front of me, so I'm going off memory. But I think we check either the wild pitch rating of the pitcher or the pass ball rating of the catcher. And this kind of blowout game, it probably doesn't even matter, but I do aim to be accurate when I can be, which is not always the case. So if anybody knows off the top of their head which one it is, that's what I'll go with. Weiniger, his pass ball rating is a 2, and Goltz, his wild pitch rating is a 6. So I'm thinking we're checking the 2 here. And it's a 1, so it is going to be a pass ball. How about that? So after all that deciding, it is a pass ball. And that will move the runner up to second. And Bannister Orta rather, is still in the box. Hello, King Castro. It's a 6-6 for Orta against the lefty. 6-6 is going to be a base hit. I should have known when I picked these two teams it was going to be an offensive explosion because of the way they could hit. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. There are 2 stars with it. 7, it's a single, 2 stars, which means the runner on second will score. So Essien trots in the score. Does cut the lead to 9-2, but there's still a long way to go for the White Sox. Here's Bannister. It's a 4-6 for Goltz against a righty. 4-6 against a righty is a fly to center, and that's out number 2. Bring up Richie Zisk. They need Zisk to get into one and try to close into this lead if they can. 3-7. 3-7 for Zisk against a righty as a ground ball to second. Thank you, D. Scott. It's a comedy of errors. If you could actually see the whole setup here, you would probably be chuckling even more. But I'm doing what I can to hold the fort, as they say. All right, so Bart Johnson's going to leave. He started getting hit around pretty good. So we'll go to the bullpen for the Sox, which again is not exactly the best in the world. They're going to go with Bruce Dalcanton. So Bruce Dalcanton, and now there's sirens in the background. Don't know if that's rescue or police. And there's also a small plane going by. So we've got all kinds of noises. If you like noises, this is the game for you. All right, so Glenn Adams is up to be the first batter for the Twins against Bruce Dalcanton. And Dalcanton, it is a 5-6. So Dalcanton against a lefty, 5-6, is a ground ball to second, 1 away. So maybe somebody for the White Sox can pitch. We'll see. Here's Bob Randall. 1-4. 1-4 for Randall against a righty is going to be a double to center field. So Bob Randall gets his second hit. It is a double. Back to the top of the order for Lyman Bostock. And we get a 6-10 off of Dalcanton against a lefty. 6-10 is a ground ball first base B. That'll move the runner up to third base with 2 outs for Roy Smalley. Not that it really matters in this kind of a game, but you never know. 3-3 for Smalley. 3-3 is a ballpark check for a home run. For a single, which is 1-9. And it's a 5, so he got it. So Roy Smalley connects for a base hit, drives in Randall. It's now 10-1. Oh, 10-2 rather, my bad. 10-2. It is now 10-2. 10-2. Here's Rod Carew. It is a 5-9. Dalcanton against a lefty, 5-9 is a... Ooh, Carew's going to get a triple or a double. Most likely a triple, which would be another run scored. And it is. So Rod Carew gets his second triple of the game. And that will score Smalley, and it's now 11-2. So Rod Carew, 2 walks and 2 triples in this game. He has certainly lived up to his card. 2-5 for Heisel. 2-5 is a 1-14 for a single, and 15-20 will be a grounder to third. It is an 18, so it's a grounder to third, and the inning is over. So we're at the 7th inning stretch. No ukulele. We got enough noise in the background with lawnmowers and planes and trains and automobiles around here, I guess. So we're going to go on to the bottom of the 7th. Dave Galtz is an 8 as far as his fatigue, so he's certainly capable of pitching a few more innings. And it'll be Jim Spencer to bat, lead things off. It's a 3-11 for Spencer. Ground ball to first, that's 1 away. So the White Sox score sheet's pretty clean. The Twins score sheet's a mess because of all the hitting. Here is Soderholm. It's a 2-9, and that's a ballpark home run check. But you have to roll a 1, 2, or a 3 to get that home run. It's 12. It's going to simply be a fly to left. So 2 down for Oscar Gamble. Oscar Gamble, it is a 4-3 off of Galtz. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X, and the right fielder check is going to be on. Whoa! And my car just flipped over the top. Go back and get him now. He just flipped over the. I don't know if anybody saw that on camera, but just did a pirouette over this thing here. So I'm going to go back and get that before the next at bat. But right now I want to finish checking the right fielder, which in this case for the Twins is Disco Dan. So Disco Dan's a 3-11, and actually I better go get that pitcher card because it could be blowing away further away. So chat amongst yourselves. I'll be right back as soon as I get my card back from the wind. And luckily the fence stopped it from going any further. Or I might have been chasing this thing across the park. So we'll put him under cover here with this wind. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to re-roll everything since I got distracted. I'm going to re-roll for this check on Disco Dan. And Disco Dan, 19, he will make the play. Oh, now they want to decide to cut the outfield grass on the field I'm at. That's perfect timing. What else could go wrong today? 1-7. I'm sorry, it's an 8. And a 19, so an 8, and he's an E11. E11 and an 8 is nowhere to be found, so he will make the play, and that's going to end the bottom of the 7th. I'm not sure how good this will still go with this lawnmower going, but I'll try to speak up as best I can. Bruce Dalcanton is back in the box. Yeah, Beatles, we were talking about Candlestick, we were talking about Wrigley, we were talking about all kinds of different places to play. But we're in Comiskey, and that's known for wind as well. It's Chicago, you know. Maybe not as much as Wrigley, but they still have wind there. So here's Weiniger. It's a 5-8 against Dalcanton, and a 5-8 against a lefty is a potential double. 1-16 is a double. Anything else is a single. It's an 18, so it's a single for Butch Weiniger. And Weiniger is a triple away from the cycle. So he might get one more bat to see if he can get it. Here is Dan Ford, and that is a 4-5. 4-5 is a fly to right. That's going to be 1 away. This could be worse, folks. I could be playing History Maker because those cards will fly away in a heartbeat a lot easier than the Strat cards would. And I had intended to play History Maker, but I forgot the cards like a dummy. So here's Mike Cubbage. And it's a 1, so we're checking wild pitch rating for Dalcanton. He's a wild pitch 9. It's a 10, though, so we do not have a wild pitch, so we'll keep going for Cubbage. It's a 1-6. 1-6 for Cubbage is a single. I'm sorry, I was in 3-6. 1-6 is a potential single. 1-5. Anything else will be a liner to second. It's a 9, so it's a liner to second, and there's 2 away. And that brings up Glenn Adams to DH. We got a 5-7. 5-7 against a lefty. It's a fly ball to center, and he got out of it. So that's it for the Twins here in the top of the 8th. Nothing else across. Not that they needed it. They continue to lead handily by the score of 11-2. And now we'll go ahead and this is Galtz's point of weakness inning, so we got to keep an eye on him, make sure he doesn't fatigue. If he does, we'll take him out. Bullpen is already loosening for the Twins. Here's Chet Lemon. Lead off for the Sox. It's a 4-6. So Chet Lemon against a righty. 4-6 is a fly to center, and that's 1 away. Actually, the lawnmower has kind of gone across the way to a different field. So I don't know if he had planned to do that or just good fortune or whatever, but I don't think he was doing it because I was here. I don't think I've gotten that much clout. I don't have any clout, so I think it was just a... Ken, I think the kids over there were like preschool, so I think that's what was happening there. Here's Jim Essien. I was thinking the same thing, which is why I figured I'd have a quiet game, but best laid plans of mice and men. That was a 1. 1-4 for Essien is a walk. So there's one away, or 1 on and 1 away. For the top of the order, and Ralph Garr. Garr, a 4-7. 4-7 is a strikeout. He has not reached his point of weakness yet, so the strikeout will hold. He has to give up 2 more hits or walks to get the point of weakness. Here's George Orta. Orta, a 5-6, and that's going to be a fly ball to center, and that will end the 8th inning. So we go to the 9th, still 11-2. At least there's, even though the game's not close, at least you got outside entertainment from the elements and from noises and stuff blowing around, and the only thing I'm missing now is a hot dog wrapper flying around. That used to happen at Candlestick all the time. So now we'll go to the Sox bullpen again, and we'll figure out who they're going to bring in. It doesn't really matter, I don't guess, at this point. They'll go ahead and bring in Laren LeGros. Not that, like I said, not that it matters. And the Twins will go to their bullpen in the 9th for Dave Goltz as well. But Laren LeGros will come in and pitch this top of the 9th. And as soon as I said the lawnmower guy was going away, he's coming back. So just when you think you got him gone, they come back. All right. Top of the 9th, we're ready to go. Bob Randall. 1-6 for Randall against a righty is a single. So Randall gets his 3rd hit as the hit parade just continues. That'll bring up Lyman Bostock. Bostock, a 1-10 against a righty. Ground ball shortstop B, it's a fielder's choice. So that's going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice for out number 1. And that'll bring up, now I just cut it off for some reason. I don't know what happened there, but we'll try to finish before he starts again. Rod Carew, a 5-6 against LeGros. 5-6, and Carew might hit a 3rd triple. Look at this, 1-6 is another triple. So if we get a 1-6, Carew will have his 3rd triple of the game. Nope, it's 15, so he's going to have to settle for a single. So Carew will single. There's a two-star advancement, so Bostock will go to 3rd. Runners are at the corners with 1 out for Larry Heisel. Heisel, a 2-7, and he's going to hit ground ball to shortstop A. That's going to be a double play. So 6-4-3 will end the inning. Nothing doing for the Twins, not that they needed it. It's 11-2 as we go to the bottom of the 9th, and we will get a new Minnesota pitcher. Certainly not a save situation by a long shot. So we'll see who the new Minnesota pitcher is going to be. And they're going to go to, I believe, Tom Bergmeyer. If I can find his card. There he is. Tom Bergmeyer, the lefty, will be the new Twins pitcher. He will come on and try to get through this 9th inning so that the Twins can secure an easy victory. He'll be facing Alan Bannister to start things off. And that is a 3-6 against a lefty. 3-6 against the left-hander. That's a chance for a home run. 1-8 is a home run. 9-20 is a double. So it's 16. So Alan Bannister has greeted Bergmeyer with a leadoff double. Brings up Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk. It is a 5-6. Bergmeyer against a righty. 5-6. 5-6 is a ground ball to short. There's 1 away, and with the ground ball to short, the runner had to hold. So still a runner at second with 1 out for Jim Spencer, lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 1-3 for Spencer against a lefty. That's a potential home run. It would have been a home run on his card, but we're playing ballpark effects. So the ballpark effect for a home run, he needs a 1, 2, or 3. And he didn't get it. He got an 11, so that's simply a fly to right for out number 2. And we're 1 out away from wrapping up the win bowl here. Eric Soderholm. I know you usually call football games bowls, but, you know, hey. All right, so it's a 4-7 against a righty. 4-7 is a single with 2 stars. So that keeps the inning going, and it will score Bannister to make it 11-3. So Chicago just got a field goal. Makes it 11-3. And Oscar Gamble, the last chance. Lefty on lefty matchup again. It's a 5-3 for Bergmeyer against a lefty. That's a fly ball left field X. That is the left fielder Heisel. He's a 2E10, and this could do it. But a 3 there, that might fall. That's possible that could fall. A 2 and a 3, and that will fall. It's a single with 2 stars. So a single with 2 stars, it's a 9 to check for error. He's an E10. There is no error, but it is a single 2 stars. So the single and 2 stars will keep the inning going as Gamble singles, moves Sauter home to third. And that brings up Chet Lemon. So Bergmeyer not able to have an easy go of it. He's got to put some drama into it. Chet Lemon, a 3-7 against the lefty. 3-7 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. Last thing the Twins want, start walking guys. And now it's Jim Essien's turn, but Essien may be called back. Although he's going to hit. He's 2 for 2 with a homer, a single, and a walk, so they're not going to pinch hit for him. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And we get a 1-6 against the lefty. For Essien, 1-6 is a ground ball shortstop A, and that's going to end the ball game. For some folks, they may say mercifully end the ball game. But that's going to do it. The Twins do pick up a run, meaningless run in the bottom of the 9th, and the final score from a very windy Little League baseball field, it is 11-3 in favor of the Twins. Sorry you guys didn't get to see a closer game, but as we always say when we're rolling these things, you never know what's going to happen with the dice. Could be a blowout, could be whatever. But the Twins hand it to the White Sox pretty handily by the score of 11-3. And now I think we have dual lawnmowers, so probably a good thing the game has ended, because to use a bad pun, the lawnmowers are starting to cut me out. So another card just fly away as I was trying to collect them and put them in the envelope. I had to go get Lyman Bostock back. He just flew away. So I'll be back with Lyman. Actually, it was Ralph Garr that flew away, so I had to bring him back. I was trying to put him in the envelope, and the wind was so strong it blew him out of my hands. So that's it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed that fiasco of the wind, but Twins do it to the White Sox by the score of 11-3. Hope everybody is having a great day, whatever you're doing. I know it's the first day back to work for most. My first day back to work is tomorrow, as I took this extra day off just to enjoy a little more time. But tomorrow is back to the grind. But did want to get one more game in this interesting outdoor conditions, but we fought through it. That's all I'll say. So I hope everybody's having a great day, and be safe with the Hurricane Irma or whatever's coming. Batten down the hatches if you live in Florida. And let's see here, any results from, I'm not sure what that is, Ken, or you might be chatting with somebody else on that one. I'm not sure what the NWSL is, so not sure on that one. But get all my stuff together here. Make sure I don't lose my dice. The dice are pretty heavy. I don't think they're going to fly away anywhere. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. And whether you play Strat or any other game, hope you have a great time playing whatever it is you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And from a very windy minor league baseball field, I'll kind of give a pan of where I am here. A very windy minor league baseball field with lawnmowers in the background and sirens and planes and trains and automobiles and kids and everything else. This is David from Baseball Demos signing off, saying again the final score is the Twins 11, the White Sox 3. Until next time, we'll see all you guys down the road.